Hey everyone, welcome to a new video. One of the most common questions I get asked, especially with people just getting started with dropshipping, is why am I not getting sales? And it's such a broad question. It's impossible to answer without reviewing their entire operations. There's so many different variables that it could be for the reason why they're not making any sales. So I thought it'd be a good idea to create a video to sort of walk you through the process, the different steps, the thought process you need to be thinking about when you're reviewing your operation to see whereabouts it is that it's failing. At what point in the process is your store failing? Is your business failing? So this is what this video is going to be about. I've just got back from Budapest, so I'm a little bit all over the place. So my timing's been off on the video and everything, but hopefully I'll get back into the swing of things and we'll start getting regular content up again in the next week or so. But yeah, let's just jump straight into it and we can go from there. Okay, so the first thing that you need to be doing when you're looking at why you're not making sales on a particular campaign is you need to start reviewing your data. So the first thing you need to be looking at within your ads manager is your click-through rates. Now this is link clicks. This isn't just click-through rate all, this is link clicks, because you need to be finding out what percentage of your ads are people, what percentage of people who have seen your ads are clicking that link and landed on your product page. Now anything between a 0 and 1% is generally quite poor. If you are seeing between 0 and 1% click-through rates on link clicks, then you need to be looking at your ad. And generally the reason for that is either the ad, the creative itself isn't good enough, it's not engaging, people aren't stopping on it, people aren't liking the first 3 to 5 seconds that they're seeing. Either that or you're targeting the wrong audience, or the product it just isn't a winner. You know, sometimes if you're seeing 0 to 1%, your ad might be quite good, but it might just be the product. Like if there's no demand for the product, then people aren't going to click it. You know, they're not going to click that link. So you need to have a look at this. And if you're seeing a 0 to 1% click-through rate, you need to review your product against the winning product criteria that I talk through within the Advanced Dropshipping Academy. If you're happy that your product matches all the criteria that I talk about, then you need to be looking at your creative itself. Look at your ad, you know, make some more ads, change the scroll stopper, the first 3 seconds of your ad, change it, create some new ones and test them using the PPE testing method and go down that way and see if that improves your click-through rates. If you're getting a click-through rate of between 1 and 2%, then that's generally quite good. You know, that's quite average. That's a positive kind of click-through rate that you're seeing. The creative is working. It could be better, you know, but what you've got there at the moment is good and it's definitely a good baseline to start with. But what you can also be doing, you keep that creative running, you'll keep running your campaigns against that ad, but also look to start creating new ones. You know, get some different scroll stoppers, different sort of images, videos, whatever you're trying to test, put them out there as well to see if you can increase that click-through rate, because just an increase of 1% click-through rate can make a massive difference. If you're seeing click-through rates of over 2%, then you've got a cracking ad. You know, this is doing really well for you. You're getting tons of traffic to your store, and this is kind of in the place you want to be. If you're seeing this, then you know, keep pushing the ad, keep driving traffic to your store, because you're going to be collecting data from those visitors anyway. So keep pushing that traffic, keep getting it there. And what you also want to be doing is you want to be looking at creating similar ads, create some more ads that are similar to the one that's doing quite well. So you just kind of avoid the ad fatigue, because once somebody starts seeing the ad over and over and over again, they just start glancing past it. So throw in different ad creatives, you know, get some different scroll stoppers in there, but the ad you've got at the minute that's doing over 2% click-through rate, that's great, keep at it. If you're finding that your click-through rate is over 1% and you're getting a bunch of traffic coming to your store, but no one seems to be adding to the cart, then this is where it starts to get a little bit more in depth, and there's a number of different areas you need to be looking at. So the first thing I always think about is my price of the products. Now, there's different kind of pricing issues. You could have either priced it too low or you could have priced it too high, and this comes down to sort of your judgment on the perceived value of the product. If you think it's a kind of a low perceived value, or like an everyday kind of product, then just try and lower the price a little bit by a few dollars, you know, $5, something like that, just to see if you can encourage some more add to carts. If you're running a higher perceived value item, something more luxurious, then maybe you've priced it too low. And that might seem counterintuitive, but it could very well be the case. Like, people might not want to buy it because it seems like a high perceived value, but you've priced it too low. So they were expecting something a little bit more expensive to match the quality of your store, the brand that you've created. So try and increase the price to see if that encourages more add to carts. That's the better way. You know, if you can increase your price and get add to carts and then purchases, you're just going to make more money anyway. So it's worth giving it a go. But pricing is the first place I try and try and get to. I know I say stick by a 3 times pricing rule, but if you have to go to a 2.5 times pricing rule, then that'll work as well. You just have to try and find that sweet spot and go from there. Something else you need to consider when you're getting visitors but no add to carts is your site trustworthy? Is your store generating trust with the customers? Because I've seen some terrible stores out there. People using clip art graphics for logos and for images, and the color schemes are all over the place. Fonts don't match anything that's going on, and it doesn't say trust. And this is kind of what you need to be looking at. You need to be reviewing your store and thinking to yourself, would I buy from this store? Get a friend to look at it, ask them if they'd buy from the store, because they're going to tell you honestly if they would or not. So check all that. Make sure you have all the required pages. Make sure you've got your contact us page, your about us, your shipping, your FAQ, terms and conditions, privacy policy. All of that is really important, and it all adds trust to your store. So if you don't have those pages, get them on there straight away. And then finally, it's all about the theme, the logos, the branding, and the domains. That image you're giving off as a business. Does that say trust? Does that say genuine business? Does that say this is a brand I want to give my money to? Because if you can't say yes to that, no one's going to buy from you. And it doesn't matter how good your ad is. If what people are seeing when they click the ad isn't good enough, no one's going to buy. So a lot of effort needs to go into your store, creating that brand and making it legitimate and trustworthy. If you're happy with your price and if you're happy with your store, then the final thing you need to check is your product page itself. Now, within your product page, you need to be looking at your description. Are you explaining the benefits of the product rather than the features? Now, a lot of people fall into this sort of trap. I've done it as well, where they list off all the features, like waterproof, or they'll say, like made with high quality materials or something. No one cares about any of that. They want to know what benefits, something like if it's time saving, that's a benefit to them if it saves them time, if it's a cleaning product and it's going to shave hours off cleaning the house, that's a benefit. It's not a feature, it's a benefit. So you need to be looking at the benefits of the product you're trying to sell rather than the features, and have that sort of bullet pointed on the product page. And also check your reviews. Check the reviews on the product page, because I know everyone likes to import from Ali Reviews or Luke's or whatever. They all import them, but they never review them. And if you read some of the reviews, they're all in broken English. The spelling mistakes, there's random words in there from different countries if it's been translated. You need to go through that, and you need to take out anything that doesn't sound right. You need to amend anything that doesn't really make any sense. Clean that up, because that again is an image of your store. And if people are looking at the reviews and it's all in broken English, that doesn't say trust to that customer. And that's really important. So make sure you do that. And then finally, if you are getting add to carts, but you're not really getting the purchases, that final step the customer's not taking, again, you need to be looking at your pricing, because it might be that you just priced it a little bit too high. They were almost there, but then they backed out at the end because, they thought about it and it was like, no, it's a little bit too expensive. So just lower your price a little bit, see if that can encourage those last add to carts to finally buy from you. But it could just come down to retargeting. It could just be your retargeting requirements. The traffic you're driving to your store is going to be cold traffic. Nobody knows who you are. So it might be a case of just having your retargeting set up, and those people are just going to come straight back and buy from you, because now they're warm traffic. They know about your brand. They've had time to think about the product, and they're quite happy to buy now. So make sure you turn your cold traffic into warm traffic. Use your messenger, email, and SMS retargeting to make sure that you have all that set up in the back end, because a lot of money comes through that. And then also make sure you have your dynamic retargeting and your single product retargeting ads set up within your Facebook ad account as well, because that is just where where your biggest ROIs come from. And it's very important that you have all your retargeting set up. So those are the 3 stages that I suggest you go through if you're struggling to make sales. Ultimately, it is the products. It doesn't matter how good your store is, how good your ad is, how well you've priced the product. If there is no demand for that product, nobody is going to buy it. But at first, you need to be validating these steps. You need to be looking at these steps. You need to be checking your click-through rate. You need to be checking your store for pricing issues, trust issues, product page issues, and you also need to be setting up your retargeting as well. So if you're happy that you've done all of those things and people are still not buying from you, then it's probably to do with the product, and you need to switch that out. Don't become emotionally attached to it. Find a new one and start again, and just basically build off that one instead. So hopefully you found this useful. I get this question a lot, why am I not making sales? Why am I not making sales? But this is kind of the best way I can help you out without reviewing it myself. So hopefully this was worth it. Hopefully it's given you some food for thought about what you can do with your store and if you can improve what's going on with you. But if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. If you have any comments, any questions, just drop them below. I'm still answering everything. If you want to learn more about how to dropship correctly, then make sure you check out the links in the description, because there are a bunch of stuff in there. You can also contact me directly through the links down there as well, so make sure you check that out. But yeah, hopefully you found it useful. Drop me a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're new, and I will catch you in the next one.